In the smoldering aftermath of the Battle of Eregion, the dark clouds over Middle-earth thickened, heralding a new era of terror and domination. Amid the ruins of the once glorious elven realm, one figure emerged from the shadows with renewed purpose: Sauron, the Dark Lord. Victorious in his assault, Sauron now faced the daunting task of consolidating his power and expanding his influence across the fractured lands of Middle-earth. With Eregion's fall, Sauron retreated to his ominous stronghold in Mordor, a desolate and foreboding land bordered by the jagged peaks of the Misty Mountains and the bleak expanse of the great river Anduin. Here, amidst the ash and gloom, Sauron set about rebuilding Barad-dûr, his towering fortress of dark sorcery and unbreakable defenses. Each stone he laid was infused with malevolent magic, ensuring that no force in Middle-earth could challenge his might again. But Sauron's vision extended beyond mere fortification. Understanding that brute strength alone would not secure his dominion, he devised a multifaceted strategy to entrench his control over the free peoples of Middle-earth. Central to this plan was the One Ring, the Master Ring he had forged in the fires of Mount Doom. This ring held a fragment of his very essence, binding all other rings of power to his will. With the 7 rings for the Dwarf Lords and the 9 rings for mortal men now in his possession, Sauron wielded unparalleled influence over these races. The 7 rings amplified the dwarves' natural talents in craftsmanship and their unyielding desire for wealth. While they resisted complete domination, the rings fueled their greed, leading to internal strife and conflicts over hoarded treasures. This discord weakened the dwarven realms, making them more susceptible to Sauron's indirect control through manipulation and exploitation. Conversely, the 9 rings proved far more effective in subjugating their bearers. Mortal men, lusting for power and longevity, fell swiftly under Sauron's sway. These men transformed into the Nazgûl, the ring-wraiths, Sauron's most feared and loyal servants. Bound eternally to the One Ring, they became shadows of their former selves, neither living nor dead, existing solely to serve and spread Sauron's dominion. With his rings secured, Sauron's next move was to extend his influence across Middle-earth's key regions. Gondor, the mighty kingdom of men, stood as a significant threat to his plans. Sauron knew that to dominate Middle-earth, he needed to undermine Gondor's strength and influence. Utilizing spies, dark magic, and his network of servants, he infiltrated Gondor's defenses, spreading fear and dissent to erode the kingdom's stability from within. The once proud city of Minas Tirith began to feel the weight of his dark presence, its walls fortified, yet its people growing weary under the constant threat. Meanwhile, Sauron's reach extended into the distant lands of Rhovanion and Beleriand, where remnants of the First Age's conflict still lingered. By rekindling old animosities and exploiting existing rivalries, he aimed to create a web of chaos and strife that would destabilize these regions, making them easier to control. His influence seeped into every corner of Middle-earth, turning allies into enemies and fostering mistrust among the free peoples. Central to Sauron's strategy was the creation and control of dark alliances. He formed pacts with men of Gondor who were swayed by promises of power and glory, ensuring their loyalty through fear and manipulation. These corrupted leaders acted as his agents, orchestrating conflicts and weakening resistance from within. By turning leaders against each other, Sauron effectively fractured the unity of the free peoples, making them more vulnerable to his domination. Sauron's dark sorcery also played a crucial role in his consolidation of power. He delved deeper into the forbidden arts, mastering spells and enchantments that enhanced his control over the Rings of Power. His knowledge of ancient and dark magic allowed him to create new weapons of war and bolster his armies with formidable creatures, Olog-hai, Balrogs, and other abominations that struck fear into the hearts of all who opposed him. As Sauron's influence grew, so did his ambition. He sought not only to conquer, but to reshape Middle-earth in his image, extinguishing all traces of light and hope. His relentless pursuit of power led him to seek out the One Ring, believing that its mastery would grant him absolute control over all life in Middle-earth. This quest set the stage for the inevitable confrontation between the forces of good and evil, a battle that would determine the fate of the world. Amidst this darkening landscape, the elves, dwarves, and men who resisted Sauron's rule began to band together, forming coalitions and building fortresses to withstand his onslaught. Leaders like Gil-galad in Lindon and Elendil in Gondor emerged, uniting their peoples in a shared cause against the encroaching darkness. Their alliances were built on mutual respect and the understanding that only together could they hope to defeat Sauron and reclaim their lands from his malevolent grip. The stage was set for a monumental clash. Sauron's armies, bolstered by his Rings of Power and dark sorcery, marched across Middle-earth, while the united forces of the free peoples prepared to defend their homelands. The impending conflict promised to be a defining moment in the history of Middle-earth, a battle that would echo through the ages and shape the destiny of all who dwelled there. In the depths of Mordor, Sauron watched and waited, his mind ever plotting, his ambition unbounded. The fate of the Rings of Power, and indeed the fate of all Middle-earth, hung in the balance, teetering between the shadows of tyranny and the resilient spirit of those who dared to resist. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this exploration of Sauron's strategies and the fate of the Rings of Power, please like, comment, and subscribe for more deep dives into Tolkien's world.